Hi, I'm your MC of the event or the story, however you want to take that. I know I'm young, and that might, well, I'm shocked myself, really. I guess this is just where we are now. It was others who got us here, generations past, going back to the so called greatest, our namesake, the X factor in this all, the turn of the century. Now, that crew gets a bad rep for all the wrong reasons. It was them too. Still is. And then there's us. I'm too, well, me and everyone in the vaccination line and everyone in their bunkers. Now, what's the difference there? From the safe injection queue, we're all to what we're facing. The eviction notices, $5 loaves of bread, union busting, disaster after catastrophe, followed by state mandated injustice. Again, and again, and it's all so exhausting. To keep up, to keep on. I can roam around town, totally free and fast. Sans fear, without jeers, but I still carry my mask. All I have to do is what the lawmen said. I can be warm, safe, and even get fed by hitting up the food bank or soup kitchen if I dare. I'm well medicated with no consequence health care. These luxuries be the terms of entrapment. Does it make me whiny to justify this poetic lament? Is it so bad bowing down to politicians surely heaven sent? My diet is manufactured, test tube fresh, techno organic. If I obey my big overprotective brother, there's no need for panic. Fortress NA secure, impenetrable safeguard, airspace vector, firewalls in place, virus scan software, super badass spy detector. Activist arms and abomination. Cheese off the man, ultra, hella, I'll be obedient. Pat me on the head. I'm a good little silent fella. Endearing, obeying the terms of entrapment. Despite shoulder glances, exclude paranoia wherever I went. Their dictation God given, my sacrifice deemed gave up for Lent. Liquid display, 4K, high def, 1,000 channels or bust. Gimme something more. Gimme good head, your duty, you must. Offer up low-fat sugar supplement junk for viewing my broadcast news. I demand my angst be instantaneous, good old-fashioned MTV Gen X podcast blues. I choose consumption, consuming choices, choosing my consumed corpse you exhume. Who minds choking on greenhouse gas emission, charcoal blackened, coal burnt fumes? How high are the terms of entrapment? Small scale against the sky rise? Commercial dent is buck up and buy or fuck up and die. The tune incumbent. If it seems like a cluster, that's only because this isn't right. And none of it is, because the natural order is anything but. I cope through poetry. That's what that was. Slam tactics. TikTok eats it up, and I just, the likes, the attention in general. I call it an echo chamber, sure, but what else do we have? What else can we? We're too young, too fresh to this world. It's not supposed to be like this. Is it even really happening? I'm your MC of ceremonies or character, however you want to take that.
Tick tock.
They call it a doomsday clock.
The tick, ticking.
The greatest ones?
In your heart.
Perhaps they did live up to their name. What they did, the setup, the boom to come, unconscionable, yes, but foresight was there. Our forefathers, they could see the path of the Oblivion coaster. They could see
Fear.
So obvious, but the lineup fall into place. Ducks and rows, right? And cover.
And everyone's afraid.
The drills. From under their desks, they could look up and they could notice.
They were born of the trenches.
We're the same. Color-coded threat levels. The name changes, but the action, reaction, no action anymore, but fear. Omnipresent. The drills in practice. School shooters, mail order anthrax. You can't always run and hide under the bed because red is red. Color-coded the same, but they drop the common descriptor.
Of blood.
Is red.
Left on red. I always am.
I don't.
The time is now 11:50 p.m. and yet you ignore me.
I don't mean to. It's just that
Youth is no excuse.
it's so much.
Not anymore.
What?
Don't you ask that of me?
Then of whom?
As you said,
Them.
it was others.
Days of future past?
Isn't that what you said?
I need something else.
Oh, less than 10 minutes remain.
Mercy.
Others!
Are you going now?
I embody the final chime.
Till then?
The death knell.
Unless I...
You won't.
And not without the knowledge.
Oh, this is your domain.
I stand alone.
Again, again, and again.
If again, then who?
Others!
Reveal yourselves!
Maybe recite a poem about them.
What I do, my nerves, they're bad, you see. That's what everyone at home would say. Everyone ad nauseum when the going gets tough.
The real men pick themselves up by the bootstraps.
My pardon?
The bootstraps. Pick them up. Take yourself for the ride.
If only.
It is. Always was. Stands the same.
Only if.
My parents did. My grandparents before them. The greatest ones. Little bootstraps picked themselves up and out of those trenches, but never out of blood. No, no, sir. Never out of blood. The whole world was red. The deepest shade of the Crimson Cross. Of blood they were born, and so they emerged, the warlords, victorious.
And upon the backs of tragedy, behold their legacy of rot.
Of rot? Oh, I think not, young woman. Oh, I think not.
Their children, the generation of excess, of consumerism.
The greatest generation gave way to an age of luxury.
Of indulgence.
Convenience, unbeknownst to any era of mankind before it.
And ever since, evermore, and never more.
All of our progress has all been squandered by the lazy layabouts that inherited the fruits of our labor.
To break from this.
Yes, young lady.
Are you actually serious?
Always.
Of that I know. Zero sense of humor. If a dad joke clawed its way out of the trenches and nibbled on your bootstrap.
In my day, our musings were far more pointed. Nibbled. Can't even fathom a proper bite to the behind, huh?
My attempt at politeness,
Uh,
i.e. how I would
Probably afraid that you're going to offend somebody by mentioning that humans have bottoms. Oh, basic anatomy. Oh, how scandalous. Me, oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh, me too. Well, that is the sum, correct? Bottoms that cannot be bit, except even in the context of a parable. Probably afraid you're going to offend or trigger some suffering survivor of sexual assault. Comedy had best know its place and stay away from their sacred derrieres.
I was raised to be reserved.
Precious tiny little snowflake.
Unintentionally on the nose.
Come again?
Snowflakes are indeed becoming more precious, increasingly fragile, ever more little.
Also, in my day, we called our grievances flavors of the week.
It's rapid fire now, and I say that in a sternly literal sense.
It is now 11:51 p.m. A mere 9 minutes from midnight.
Rubbish.
They speak truth.
Wait it out.
Waiting is lapsed. The tick, tick, the ticking.
All things go, but you children, you shame us all. The impatience. A single lick of most topics is all that it'll take, but a taste, and you are done, and on to the next.
As the earth itself shall soon be with you.
It's the pride, I tell you. Oh, not in an honest day's work, but the fruity variety. Taste the rainbow.
Our avocados aren't getting any more affordable.
You can't get enough. Oh, you kids, you want it all. Ingenuity enveloped by entitlement.
That's rich. As rich as you.
And you could be too.
Explain.
Well, if you really wanted it and not expected somebody to hand it to you, all is within reach, The treetops dangle with rewards.
The bounty that cannot be bought and paid by minimum wage earnings.
But if you put your mind to it and apply yourself, again with the audacity.
Oh, my apologies, sir.
Oh yes, why what a larf it is to insinuate that hard work is the way to get ahead in this world.
Sir, this is not at all directed at you, but okay, boomer.
Why, you tiny, ungrateful little... If ever there was a generation born with a silver spoon in mouth, it is you, new American century infants. And so you have remained, stalled in childhood nostalgia, stagnating in your protective bubbles, surrounded by your participation trophies. The whole industrialized world as your oyster. And yet you petition for even more. Social justice warriors extraordinaire. Never content with the status quo. The endless pursuit of ever more generous government handouts. Is there any end to your demand for a ticket to ride our coattails? All you know is to complain, to whine until you get your way. Unable, no, unwilling to recognize the privilege that you are steeped in. As for your elders and their predecessors before them, we boomers provided all that was necessary for success. Your prosperity was all but guaranteed. You only had to go for it. The sky was, no, the stratosphere, the moon, Martian views on the horizon. We assured that you were poised to zoom your way to the stars and beyond. Your story is one of comeuppance. But if you were to get what you really deserve,
A product of our environment, the one that you recklessly, with the utmost zeal, destroyed.
a bowl of gruel, and endless years of stockings of coal, if we could give it another go.
You raised us, or if not us, our parents. Our inheritance? A dying ecosystem, an unsustainable economy of materialism, late-stage capitalism run amok. A decaying corpse on display for would-be historians to highlight is a cautionary tale.
Zoomers, an insult to our name. We, the last beacons of diligence.
DC,
Still,
there must be more than this.
you are the MC. This forum is yours to command.
Oh, goody. We're in competent hands.
Hands that you helped to foster.
It is now 11:52 p.m.
Hello?
Scaremongering.
8 minutes till doomsday.
Hello?
Hurry!
Left-wing socialist scaremongering.
Is anybody out there?
Reporting live from
What?
Hurricane Ida is making landfall. Expected
There is a connection attempt.
a mass displacement of people at an unprecedented
Yes, I can hear you.
record-breaking rainfall has led to
Balderdash.
the lower mainland is submerged. Flood levels beyond.
Reach out.
Oh, okay.
Cheap.
Do you hear me? What is really happening?
Optimistic estimates range from a mere 60 to 80 years of reliable petroleum production. However, credible research suggests that there is under 1.5 trillion accessible barrels of oil left in conventional reserves. At current consumption rate, our supply will be depleted in approximately 47.6 years from today's date. However, population models indicate that we have yet to reach peak consumption. This means that
Oh, God.
the Great Reset is inevitable, but it's not the beast that internet conspiracy theorists make it out to be.
You all require a reality check. In addition to an actual paycheck attained via real work.
Oh my God, our oil is almost out. What do you not understand about that?
Well, dinosaurs weren't the only show to roam near the Earth.
Everything you know will change. A flashpoint will strike you down in the most undeniable of dilemmas.
The Arctic ice is on the melt. Ah, there are untold deposits just waiting to be tapped.
In the company of long dormant pathogens that could be potentially hundreds of times more transmissible and deadly than COVID-19.
Hundreds of times more transmissible and deadly than COVID-19. Sure. The straps of my boots are shaking. Oh, air quotations. Does the math means that maybe 10% of the people who contract your prehistoric phantom viruses will die. Oh, I am utterly petrified with paranoia.
Just stop with your Jurassic ideology. It has not aged well.
Alarmist.
The Siberian permafrost is thawing. Nearly a meter per year is moistening. There are bacteria cultures so well preserved, they scantily meet the definition of fossil. The threat is probable, tangible. DNA samples from extracted cadavers revealed potentially infectious pathogens.
And too much peanut butter causes cancer. Oh, up next, reported peanut allergies are on the rise because parents and newborns give it too young. Oh, and their offspring, they can't swallow the sticky cream. So naturally, that means they have a Biological aversion.
Your herrings are as red as the Shenzhen mudslides, but the future is green. We have already surpassed the golden age of carbon. Gasoline is yesterday's news.
Please, I implore you, the partisanship has to cease.
Your agenda is antagonizing the everyman, the everyday everyman who simply has to navigate this world. Buy his car to drive to work.
Work to pay for the car. Yeah, slaves to the oil barons.
Accumulate the hours he must to put food on the table, clothes on his children's back, offerings in the tithing place of big government.
Signal 1.
It's now 11:53 p.m.
Eve, degree. Need an excuse? It won't come cheap. They claim they hate to say, get out, you have to pay. The oil spill, the spelling they drill into your head, you knuckle brain. Notoriety versus infamy. It is all inside of me. The lust for fame, the growing hate, the dooming fate. I wish it away. I wish sincerity. In exchange for desire shrill, activism ill. Revolutionary means are such a waste. A coup of change will not be cheap. We only want to love, without excuse, without apology. I only want to love, and I deserve it for free. Better or less perverse, how is the state of your union? Under Midas antithesis, with every touch you ruin. Another bite of the pie, one more bong hit before you can call it a day, and off you go, blind stroll through the gauntlet to sudden death. Help them economically devastate the honest left. Signal 1, receive decree. Want an excuse? Wallet open, not for free. Got a good one secondhand off your wish list of illicit contraband. One more fuel cell for the amassment of the discontent juxtaposed against slothful obedience to surpass those balding suits and ties. Evolution doesn't have to be one at a time. I'm talking big. I'm not taking shit, but who would lead a march of Vex? What we need, the comic book gene, you know the one, mark this palm, mark this word, cut out absurd so we can see the ascending step. A love deserved, an angel star. Don't let them say you've gone too far.
What in sweet baby Jesus' name was that?
It is now 11:53 p.m. and 30 seconds until 11:54.
It's ticking away.
Again, what was that?
Again, and again, and again.
Oh, tick, tick. That is
This just in, the continent of Australia is on fire. Have you heard?
The
Yes, continent, as in the
whole continent.
Oh, hyperbole.
Well, if what they say is
Walls of fire closing in, ravaging the southeastern brush. They dug out trenches to try and keep it at bay, keep it back. The rage is eternal, as if a storm of solar flares exploded on the Earth's crust. Eruption from the bowels of Hades. Dissection of the planetary crust. Snap, cracking, popping into
Oh, the melodrama.
a scaled down extinction level event.
Oh, will get us to the finish line.
In a matter of months, the blaze is forecast to pump into the atmosphere as much as 3 times the country's yearly CO2 output. Neighboring Indonesian islands will be blanketed in the snowfall of toxic ash. Across the ocean, air quality will be impacted in South America. Countless lives will be lost, but the human cost cannot be weighed against the dozens of mammalian, insect, fowl, and plant varieties whose species will be forever extinguished. In the aftermath, thick clouds will slowly exhale their black fuel, releasing stray carbon fibers that will waft about the seas, fertilizing the waters, spawning widespread proliferation of microscopic algae that will slowly choke out native life.
control.
Familiar with the myths of the ancients?
here, I'll allow everything.
Apocalypse interpretations?
A learning moment.
About flame-spewing mountains.
Oh, we're living for the worst.
Oh, you misunderstand my snark.
I think I have a handle.
I reference the volcanic.
False equivalent.
Is it the
Natural phenomenon versus engineered emergency.
Oh, but the results.
Comparable, yes, but categorically, a disparity as deep as the Mariana Trench.
Loss of life, human and otherwise. A cataclysmic impact on worldwide air quality. And weather patterns.
Oh my God, you're constructing what?
Need I go on?
Look, the damage is immeasurable, but one is man-made, altogether preventable.
We didn't start the fire.
We didn't directly light it, but climate change brewed a perfect storm, a domino effect of drought, dried out forests, burgeoning deserts. Skip a stone across a lake, you could summon forth a spark.
Oh, a new hope. The spark to light your radicalism.
Facts.
A manufactured revolution.
Causal chain. Call it as it is.
You, part of the legions who demonize us, take our power by besmirching our name, use it against your imaginary foe as an insult. Oh, I think I would very much like to call it.
Oh, you refer to the kettle.
As I see it.
The calcine pot.
Your precious Twitter. Turned on its head. Oh, what's the term? The one that offends you? Like you fancy our very name offends us?
The front-facing scenario will soon be years of future past.
Oh, you libtard!
Oh!
Oh, intervention! The time is now 11:54 p.m.
Help?
Alone you stand!
Guidance?
Choose event over story.
Be the MC.
It's up to you.
I didn't volunteer.
We didn't ask you.
So I...
Reboot!
Always ISO this, ISO that.
Rebound!
Buzzwords.
Rebound!
Orders. The fault falls on their shoulders.
How so?
Well, every generation has its moment. Their trial by fire, if you will.
Literal fires.
Fortitude.
Those of your eon fabricated the climate crisis.
Faux science.
For the sake of argument, climate change is palpable. What, pray tell?
A devil's advocate.
Yeah, but the shoe fits.
Reduce your individual carbon footprint.
Time slows.
For a solution?
Time will tell. It always does.
Accountability is the answer.
But I am left to ask.
Contain MC, do not engage. The concept of the personalized carbon footprint was nothing more than a cockamamie scheme cooked up by a board of marketing executives hired by some of industry's most prolific polluters.
It all starts at home, and unfortunately, family values are so.
Strength in numbers. Together, solutions are found. The overlords wield division. Pit us against one another. Thinkers point at colleagues, friends, and family for not doing their part. Anything to divert attention.
Are you... no, scrub that.
Bootlicker BB should come clean with us.
You would do well to know your place beneath those boots.
Is that a threat?
Oh, what if carbon capture tech?
In theory.
Average cost coming in at $58.30 per US metric ton. Any iota of significance would be somewhere north of $500 billion.
CC,
Yeah, inflation accounted for, then
powerless.
think bigger.
Veganism.
Loathing the rainforest, a healthy alternative to livestock cruelty. Frame cattle ranchers as rooftop gardeners in comparison to the efficacy of new age chefs clear-cutting the old growth. If starting tomorrow, humankind en masse were to adopt a fruitarian diet, sustainability would be speedily redefined.
Complacency.
MC into apathy. You cannot stray.
My airness in his assessment.
Not exactly, but goodwill would feed our collective consciousness.
Hippie,
Oh, corporate shill.
welfare case,
And moderation.
Boomer remover is too kosher for you.
socialist scum.
What
Moderation.
does the fox say?
Moderation.
Brainwashed.
This is consumption.
Culture wars rampage.
Whitewashed.
Consumption.
Over the knee. That's where we took our turn wrong.
The belt.
Oh,
Consuming centrism.
The bootstrap.
In service of.
Ocean to ocean. Represent or reprimand. Heaven now, heathen bow. Our God is one hell of a man.
Oh, lovely day. You've set her off again.
Aligned in the east, Atlantica ebbs away, Euro assholes. Free trade agreement upheld by what's up your flagpoles. Pacifism aggressive pass over Asian influence Pacific Rim. Californification will castrate warrior cut limb from limb. Dab, soak, rinse, sterilize your home. Ignore buzz, whisper, click over your phone. You will greet your neighbor with smile and pleasant tone. We promise a no-fly, no burqa wearing, freedom-loving zone. Homogenous heartland is the goal for our homeland. Swear allegiance, no freelance. You must be a baseball fan. Genocide or deportation? Give it a chance for a generation. Safety color coded, security assured, care and caution. In or out, checkpoint 1 through 12, list cross off with an X. Annoying, yes, but in our interest. Works old, oil-rich Mr. Tex. You will honor thy dad and thy mom. Silent on Sunday, listen to sermon and succumb. Non-negotiable number, brand upon brain until all but numb. On our glorious golden streets, you will find not a single homeless bum. Optic identity off rep for retina scan. Insert cash card imprint on cold, callous hand. Entertainment exports against anti-intellectualism imports. Sober? Or what? Slop? So what? Shop, never stop, unless for sports. Unified and awesome, Mother America, one united state. All is well, all is great. Don't fret or regret. Up to us is your fate. The red, white, and blue runs gray. Maple leaves wither and decay. You will have a sterile, wholesome stay in our fortress, in our tourist-friendly Fortress NA.
And it said that I'm coming.
Oh, our bearings. We need to get.
Hello?
Tick,
Apologies, I.
heck,
Hey,
that is the sound
Madness.
of your time running.
I heard
Ouch.
there's, okay, I guess, but
Breaking news.
DC, I believe that we got.
Mudslides.
Listen, I'm just trying.
Central China, Zhaoku Country, Gansu Province. Preceding decades of clear-cutting, omitting clarity, the fortitude of the watershed to absorb rainfall was compromised. As a result, the identifiable death toll stands north of 1,500 souls, the fiercest floods on record.
Oh, the anxiety.
Yeah, trying to get in here.
Stress levels peaking.
Oh, no, please spare us from yet another poetic ramble.
The overwhelming rhymes to manifest.
The time is now 11:55 p.m.
So, hello?
5 minutes remain.
The humanity.
Closed circuit.
TV.
Picking up.
You speak for the TV, right?
Who's there?
It's just me. Oh, and I speak some TV.
Who is just me?
And now the news. Don't touch that dial.
CCTV reporting.
No, it's just, that's all. It's just simple old,
Show up.
Incoming.
hey,
Oncoming.
yeah, I saw a Facebook ad for this thing, so.
Announce myself.
There are nobody.
Hey now, you don't even know my pronouns.
Judging by that assertion, I believe I know all I require to assume the typical archetype.
I see you.
We see you.
You are seen and you are valid.
Audible eye roll.
Well, that's just great because it felt like, I don't know, like I just waltzed into something.
Cesspool comes to mind.
Oh, is that some kind of novelty pool?
Heavens.
Like those reflecting ones or the endless ones?
Akin more so to the flood prone type.
Something in the coastal communities about how the ocean heights are on the rise because of the polar ice melting and all the ozone layer and all that stuff.
Yes, only
Welcome.
Gosh.
salutations.
Oh, this ought to be a thing.
I just, tell you the truth, I don't know much about why I'm here, but it felt like maybe.
Well, the journey is the destination. The importance to be later determined hinges solely the how your path led you to here.
Oh yeah, it's how I said it. It sponsored ad actually. I was sort of chewing the shit with my great uncle about this whole CERB thing about how the cost of living is getting out of control. And the next thing I know, I pulled out my phone and I think
What?
they
Enlightened.
Hey, you.
look, all I'm saying,
By all means.
back at you,
Grace?
if you say so.
30 seconds.
An audience is granted.
Say what?
They mean you can.
Proceed.
Oh, right. I mean, I figured as much with you brainy types. You're smart enough to do up the maths, right? At least I think it's the maths. Always the maths with you guys, right?
Alas.
Yes, some of us, not so much.
Shade noted.
So I don't exactly know how to go about any of this. So
The beginning, as certain a start as any.
I get you. Yeah, different language, but the silly bills are all the same, right?
Silly bills?
Bills paid by their due date was upon a time an indication of a man's character.
Huh?
Discount their commentary from the record.
Agreed.
Contempt of conference.
You guys all talk real funny.
In essence, they're nothing short of a big baby.
Man-child being the Urban Dictionary term.
Speaking my language there. That great uncle I mentioned, he's one of them boomers. Real gem to have around the table at the holidays.
Seeing red now.
From trenches disguise, no doubt.
So, newcomer, what brought you? Your title? Background?
Oh, righty. All right, we get down to business. I get that. I appreciate that. Me and the family were having a late Christmas turkey day. Boxing Day turkey day, I suppose. And there's probably topics you don't want to touch in my bunch, especially if the great uncle is there. Basically, that guy there in the window. Stuff you guess. So, matters of the church, politic parties like sports teams. Actually, don't bring up sports either, unless you're a Senators fan. And these days, the real buzz is whether or not you're rolling up your sleeve for the big jab. In particular, though, I thought I brought up the tar sands. That didn't go over well, so I yanked out my phone to ease the tension, right? Distract the mind. And next thing I know, there's a pop-up for this thing. Now, I've got my theories here. The phones, they've got these built-in mics, right? I mean, that's not controversial. I mean, of course they do. They're phones. So the mics are there, right? You talk, and the mics pick it up and analyze your words and turn it into data. And then, I figure, then they customize the commercials.
Plausible.
It is, huh?
Borderline 4chan cult.
I'm at a summit for climate change because I had climate change on my mind. So there I am.
And deeper?
Already as deep as I can go. Deep as they got to drill for those last few remaining drops of dead lizard chicken mush.
Asinine.
And you?
Call me AJ. Everyone does, average Joe,
AJ.
Pronouns proudly not they or them.
Bookmarked.
Got the manly junk right where it matters. He and him, like the good Lord intended.
Oh, it's been a minute since the ticker refreshed. Let me.
We applaud your candidness, AJ. There's no necessity to.
Oh, no need to thank me. I am who I am. Open book.
Paint me skeptical as to how many books have been opened by who you are.
Books, magazines, lots of magazines, but
Subtle.
I guess it's mostly all the OnlyFans now, huh? Everything you want, just swipe away.
Well,
Palm.
Hi, AJ. I'm your MC
Face.
of the event or the story.
Okay,
Yeah, so however you want to.
pretty well tech setup you have here, huh?
Take that.
But don't you get grant money for this sort of thing?
Oh, I pray not. But of this class of charity case, little ceases to amaze.
I know I am young and that might strike one off kilter. Well, I'm shocked myself.
You seem like your head's screwed on straight.
A breaking bulletin. The Pacific jet stream is rotating in reverse.
The time is now 11:56 p.m.
Inches of white powder, non-traditional Hollywood fare. SoCal is frosted over. Alaska is beneath a wave of warmth. The Kodiak Isle cresting at above 20 degrees Celsius.
A blessing.
In December.
Oh, live it up. Live it out.
Halting migratory patterns of birds, itinerary disruption, a rooster crowing, a doomsday whistle, early end hibernation, Arctic air hovering across the Canadian provinces, wind chills of 50 degrees below and dropping, everyone in their bunkers dubbed Ice Mageddon by local news affiliates. The crystallization cannot be cracked, unlike weather records, day after day, another for the Guinness and dropping.
Contradictory dilemmas.
Dropping.
I'll come out and say it if no one else will.
Dropping.
And which one is it?
Following.
Is it too hot or too cold?
As I said previously.
A pairing.
The problem, though, it's got to be one or the other.
One and the other.
See, that's what us, the AJs of the world, just plumb don't get. Hot or cold? Global warming or cooling?
Climate change.
That sounds more like having your cake and eating it.
Ice cream cake.
If a layman's explanation is what will turn this tide.
Ooh, a heated debate is on the horizon.
So it's too hot, right?
No, that's not what.
Winter warmer, anyone?
Oh, that one I get there, Granddad. Yeah, I could use a cold one.
It can't be played hot and cold. We need direct action, a revolution.
And if the pressure, if a release is necessary.
A hearty laugh is more intuitive. Watch my head come off.
All due respect to our floundering MC. Control.
Control. Control.
I tried. Oh, the throbbing. Oh.
No, it's fine, buddy. Come on, we can just
try, believe in, looking.
Tick for silence. Tick for reset. The greatest anew. That's your time. Tick, tick, tick. Running out.
Reprieve.
It is now 11:57 p.m. 3 minutes remain.
Climate management.
Scaremongering.
Oh, it's coming.
What could, in hindsight, what could?
Is it my turn to say something? I don't know if I got, a chance.
But you do.
Oh, I do?
In all certitude, yes. Of this I know.
I guess I do have something.
You're at my beseech.
If that means what I think.
Your commonality is what makes you special to this process.
Are you calling me common?
Pandering.
No, our everyman.
For themselves.
A voice of the voiceless.
So, you want to hear what I think?
Solidarity.
Indifference.
It is now 11:58 p.m. 2 minutes.
Blasphemy.
Incorrect, MC. Critical mass is arising, all but unavoidable if we do not take up arms now. The nearer to midnight, the clockworks of our coroner increase exponentially.
And that's what I'm actually stumped about. Okay?
2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, that's the thing that's got all of us scratching our heads.
Elaborate.
The whole doomsday clock business, this countdown to some made up midnight, it's not even close to noon. I mean, by my phone, anyway. What's this all about? I told some folks I'd look into it and do my own research.
A Council of Atomic Scientists established the construct in the 1950s. A symbolic installation attempting to track how close our kind are to self-annihilation. They source data from many credible institutions.
Dread peddlers. The nervous offspring of the war dealers before them. Climate science, profiteering, frightening governments into snowballing money down the hill, down the drain to their laboratories. Keep people afraid. Grow the payroll. Scurry under the sheets with big tech, big pharma, or even bigger renewable energy monstrosities. taking the money, running with it, hiding it under the bed. Classic duck and cover drill for grade school broods.
Only thing under those covers, an orgy of oligarchs.
Shadow cabinet.
Right, okay. But the doomsday clock, okay, let's go back to that. So I guess you explain the what, as in, what it actually is, but what's the other one? What about the other one? What happens when we do hit midnight?
There is an
A wonderland it was. Endlessly layered.
there is an
Ethereal wind chill as Christmas carols. Come a boisterous day, better for games. Wallop of what is now a dreaded word. Mounds in demand of skilled laborers, so we should dig to the center of the berg, or as far as Odin allows, for our igloo will not melt out before springtime. Minus on the Celsius was meaningless to us. Out to wade into frosty gruel, to roleplay as God, architects of angels and arthropod men with carrot noses, hopes, dreams, forever lifespans. Winter used to be bigger, ominous, longer, holier than autumn, leaves to flakes, skating rinks, the real fall. The gift-getting countdown alone took nerves of steel, which for a kid is not a time. That's what it is about. Adults will do as cranks, humbugs, and misers did in thinly veiled fictions, novel guises for memoirs. Truth draft seeps through weather-ready plastic sheeted windows, little plaster cracks leading to kitchen, leaky ceiling. Scrape, brush, scrape, tap, tap, pound, faulty car heater hell, cooling, icicle drooling roof, balloon of a hydro bill, inflated with lonely lukewarm air despite the price. Shovel before sidewalk sweep, shovel again, shake, repeat. Inflame lumbar bottom, slippery step helps hasten herniation. Shiver or wet, frozen or soaked, memory immersed, wistful for when it meant magic was afoot. A daughter is mnemonic in outdoor encounters as she scales an Everest. Attrition on outerwear, not easily dried. Her snow stains upon my heart.
There is an ice age.
There are snow stains upon my heart.
There is an ice age coming.
Snow stains
Ice age.
upon my heart.
It is coming.
My heart of hearts.
It is near. It is almost here. It is 11:59 p.m.
To the Lords above.
Oh, willful waste of time. I will say this no more.
Prepare ourselves for the Y2K revival.
Hold on to your horses. I am stepping up and stepping in.
This is barely the time for some actual.
No. I have spent enough of my vacation time listening to all of you sound your trumpets from up on your high chairs. Oh, and don't you correct me. I meant high chairs because y'all are acting like toddlers, like politicians.
Oh, we are anything but.
Spoken like a true millennial.
I mean it. Talking out of both sides of your mouth. Lots of pretty words, but you're not really saying anything, are you? Anything that matters.
50 seconds remain.
What am I to do?
Diplomacy.
TC, your assistance. It's crucial. This crossroads, this.
The X Factor, MC.
The levels ascending.
Clarity.
X marks the spot.
Certainty. I don't want knowledge. I want
Oh, the greatest, the boom, the
the X.
convince him.
You're talking about me, aren't you?
AJ, in all earnestness, the turning point. I understand.
That makes one of us.
Cece, time to make our case.
Persuade him.
Action.
40 seconds.
Choose your words wisely.
AJ, humor us. What do you know of the climate crisis?
Not much. No, a lot. Actually, bits and pieces.
Journals, the papers, AJ. Do you read?
I read.
What do you read?
Not what you do. I'm a free thinker. I like to do my own research.
Good man.
Oh, Google, man, anything but.
No, I believe in pollution. I mean, how can't you? Anyone with open eyes can see how dirty things get. I mean, I know what we're doing isn't good, but it's not that bad, right? I mean, it couldn't change the whole planet, the makeup of everything, but we just need to clean up our acts. You know, start recycling, reducing, reusing more of what we make.
The R's are
Old Reliable is not one of them.
the R's, the Trinity.
Yeah, that's all good, isn't it?
Gullibility. You do believe everything that you see online. The merits of recycling are pipe dreams.
Truth.
Technically, it's.
But they give the bins and the fridge magnets with the schedule and
North American redeemables are exported overseas for processing. This resource output puts the act into a negative carbon offset.
oh. Huh. But you gotta give a hoot and recycle your boot.
Oh, AJ.
Plebeian rhetoric.
Hey, I might not know what that means, but I'm fairly sure I should resent that remark.
I have idled off to the sideshow and allowed this circus an overabundance of ground. Time for the final yank of the bootstraps. You will abide by my word.
30
AJ, whatever you need, I am your scribe. I will list
You
anything.
will stand stifled by my experience.
29 seconds and counting.
Oh, our time.
I demand moderation. A muzzle for fake news.
Oh, what high praise from the Caesar of social justice.
Deserves details, accuracy.
Hey,
Look, oh my God, gasp. Am
all
I
of you,
canceled?
We're running out of time. I knew. Not me. Why me? If anyone.
all of you, just shut up.
Loud.
Thank you. Now, am I getting this? The fate of the world or whatnot, it's riding on me.
Indeed.
How? And I think everyone here can agree. Why?
It is the average, the mundane, blissful, blind, living in normalcy. The struggle.
The everyday? That's the key?
Poverty as a weapon of mass distraction.
Knowledge.
Proceed, MC.
Cece, state your case. Speak clear and true.
Okay, well, data showcases.
No. I think I get a say in this.
Entertained.
let me,
Yes.
I want to hear both sides.
What?
Absurdity!
That's my way.
A spotlight for his demographic was on only fruitless trees.
And time is not our ally. We must submit.
20 seconds.
Hurry!
I'm all ears, open-minded. Another body in the mud.
Cece, first strike.
Oh, okay.
Hey. Dumb it down for me. I'm a humble guy.
Okay. Combustion engines ignite gasoline when it warms. Carbon is released. These are obese particles. On some minuscule level, it is the equivalency of an oceanic oil spill, but skyward bound.
Ixnay on the esoteric lyrics.
It's sticky stuff. The carbon molecules bind together. They're dense. Surely you can relate. Heavy. They weigh a lot. They all get stuck in the atmosphere, the clouds. It's pollution, and they don't go away. They just float there like a big plastic sheet over the earth. Imagine if you sit in a literal greenhouse gas on a steaming summer day. It gets hotter inside the greenhouse than outside. Got it? Yes? Okay. That's what's happening to the whole planet. All that carbon is like a thermal blanket capturing the heat, keeping it in. The ice caps are melting, meaning there's more water. The oceans are getting higher and warmer. The oceans and the wind work together. They work together to make the weather. As everything gets hotter, the weather is not acting in predictable ways. That's why there are so many natural disasters. Once in a century fluke occurrences are happening yearly. Everything is out of whack.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to keep things in whack because otherwise they'll be,
Out of whack.
Yeah, that's what they'll be.
Yeah, just right out of there.
Yeah, fuck, yeah.
10 seconds.
BB.
Listen, son. These crusading bohemians, their objective is to make everyone as angry with the powers that be as they are. Now, you might ask yourself, why all this angst? After all, they are your children. Oh, my grandchildren, leading up to the millennials, the aftermath of which is the Z's. And believe me, that need not be singular because all they do is sleep. They wouldn't know an honest day's work if it molested its way up their legs and sunk its teeth deep into their asshole. A proper bite.
9 seconds.
Propaganda. They want you to believe that it's the end of everything as yet another justification for their apathy, their lack of ambition. The truth is, the earth itself is exceptionally dynamic. Now, as much as we are its masters, there are cycles which we cannot control. It warms, it cools. There are times when it has been tropical in totality. Other phases of balance, such as contemporary times. And yes, sometimes it even snaps into the unthinkable extremity of an ice age. This has been going on for as long as the earth has been. Now, these scientists who champion the boogeyman that is climate change, what would they have said some 30,000 years ago at the outset of the last glacial epoch? Huh? For I am rather certain cavemen did not drive cars.
8 seconds.
Well,
Wish I may.
ain't that something?
They want you to dig a trench. Oh, not for safety in combat. They are not of that courageous pedigree, but merely a hole on the beach. They would have you bury your head in the sand. I will better for my predecessors. I will that you emerge from this rut their so-called social justice warrior kind have bulldozed us all into.
7 seconds.
You're sounding an awful lot like my crabby great uncle.
Ah, checkmate.
You would do well to learn.
No, actually, I think what the TV box said makes a tad more sense. So,
Acclamation.
6 seconds.
Insolent scions.
Is that the sum of your generational criticism?
Bypass the trenches. Straight to your bunker, heads in the sand.
The depth of analysis?
It was us who solved the pandemic crisis. For you. TSX crash. Meme stock rise. Housing crisis, employment crisis, inflation, union busting, crumbling healthcare system, Black lives, all children, yada, yada. Oh, everything. End of the world, infinite, boundless crisis. And now climate slides across the table, just as slippery as fish heads.
Long in the making was this existential impasse, predating the pandemic. Lockdown stole focus, forgot what was, what should be, the main and only, still pervasive, out pervading any airborne virus, biding time until aerosol under surface, explosion imminent, restrictions lifted. We emerged, but not victorious. These problems, we took a break from them. They take no break from us.
Suspension.
Bother not. Resolution does not live here. Blame placing. It's all you know. All of our teachings you reject.
And today's forecast is Hurricane Karen with an extra side of salt.
You know, if your paranoia were ever to prove valid, I hope that you burn. Oh, you and the little bits too.
whoa. See, it's stuff like that. That stuff makes for a hard sell.
5 seconds.
Until epilogue?
How do we wrap this all up?
Drone footage from Kenya demonstrates the runaway effects of long-term drought.
The time is not now.
Tens of thousands of climate refugees, driven by thirst, loss of employment, way of life, world's largest exporter of black tea, crops decimated.
4 seconds.
A potential 4-degree increase by the year 2050, exceeding.
Refresh.
She's got a bad connection.
Kenyan officials look to neighboring.
Fading.
3 seconds.
Huh. It's just you and me here, Mr. MC.
The oncoming storm.
2 seconds.
Weren't you supposed to?
Tribulation.
1 second.
Fix it all?
This is not
Midnight.
not really.